Whatever time of the day it is you happen to be listening, this is the P&A Podcast Express, coming to you from the Silver Tavern in Deckerville.
The old STD.
The old STD. Probably for the last time for a little bit.
For a little while.
For a short while.
For a short while.
We've got some plans, and we've got some things. And if you'd like an inside track on those plans, you can contact us at P&A@hornygrapefruit.com.
Horny grapefruit.
Or P&A Podcast Express at gmail.com.
Old school.
Or pineapple nipple arsehole at gmail.com.
Even older school.
They censor us. Or you can use the most popular method to get a hold of us, the hotline, 810-294-0455. That's 810-294-0455.
One more time for the people in the back.
810-294-0455.
Thanks for calling Swap Shop.
Ba-zing.
Zoop. Zoop.
So, we're by the time this airs, we should be on the cusp of a just life-changing snowstorm.
Snowmageddon.
Yes. And so if you're snowed in, listen to old episodes, which as of launch tomorrow, we will be posting the link to our, by the time you get this, we'll have our link up for all of our episodes on, maybe not every episode
but
so
most.
far, but
I guarantee at least 75%.
Yeah. Of our episodes will be up on YouTube. Our goal was to have them up by February 1st. A few technical difficulties, a few copyright
We're going to fail.
questions.
Yeah, a few questions.
Questionable things. People that think that they own us, own what we say.
You don't know
and they
me.
don't. They do not.
Although we have people that claim in Europe that we're exclusive to them. That's a trip.
Yeah, but we make good choices.
We do. Who said that originally?
I don't know.
My mom.
Probably.
It was my
probably
mother.
to you a lot.
She used to say that to me as that's where I got it from. That's the last thing she'd say to me as I left out the door when I was in high school. Make good choices. So that's where it came as
I'm
my
surprised
sign-off.
you remember it because you obviously never listened.
Oh, I did not. I did not. I was terrible at making good choices. Still am, apparently.
So, just you and I again.
That's all right. It's nice to know people care.
Yeah.
Care enough to show up for the podcast.
No, well, it seems to be feast or famine.
Right?
We either have,
way too many voices and some of them that are way too loud, or it's just you and I.
Or it's just you and I.
That's right. People aren't complaining.
That was my best Aaron Neville.
People said that you're funny, so it's always nice. Then it's just a stripped-down episode with Adam.
Yeah. Well, I have you muted, and it's just me talking.
I realized that. I looked over at the board, and I'm like, son of a gun, you've done it again.
Yeah.
You pulled the Emily Smith on me.
You're not coming through any of the other mics, though, so.
Yeah. Well, one of them's not hooked up, so I'd be ghost riding that whip, and the other one, well, I see you've got it turned all the way down, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be kind of screwed.
We thought Mikey was going to show up, so I'm not dogging him. He's got some business to take care of tonight, so we wish he was here. Yeah, well, yeah.
He's having dinner.
And he made a life-changing thing. He started his own business today, hopefully, so.
He did.
We wish him well.
We do, and hopefully our little endeavor that we're going to be going out on here on February 1st. I'm sorry, April 1st.
I know you so want to scale that back earlier, but I think we have a body of work to do.
We do have a body of work to do.
This is not going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
And it's not.
If it were easy, it'd be called Your Mom.
We're so extremely talented, it will be easy for us.
Yeah.
That's a total lie.
Somebody was sitting here watching the podcast one night, and they're like, you make it look so easy. I'm like, it is. It's not complicated. You just talk.
Yeah, we're good at that.
That's all we do.
You should hear us off air. Some of our best stuff never gets recorded.
I would say probably 10 of our best, greatest podcasts were never recorded.
Yeah, we had some that failed.
Although some of them would offend a lot of people.
Yes. More than what we already
currently already.
Yeah.
Speaking of offending people, my boss is a dick, and here's why.
So jump right in.
So here's my day, my fucking day. So Friday when we went down to Ann Arbor, he's like, so the IT guy, apparently we can't be asking him to do anything anymore, or there's something that came up and he's offended or something. And it was very vague because I was riding with the boss because I was driving. I'm his chauffeur because I'm his little bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, have you asked Ray to do anything? Sorry, I tossed out his name. Whoop.
Names have been changed
Right.
to protect some people.
And I like the guy. But apparently he got very offended, and I was just joking. There was nothing malicious about this. But now I have to wear the HR dunce cap, and we have to have a meeting about it tomorrow. Because I walked by, and he was talking to the maintenance guys who were busy. And the joke with the maintenance guys are they never do anything. That's what all the people in the factory say. And I'm like, yeah, shit around here just magically gets done. So it's a good rapport with them. We joke.
Yeah.
You know, because they say the engineers don't do anything either. Well, they really say that the IT guy doesn't do anything, and apparently it bothers him because he's on a different schedule system. So I walked by and I said, blank, leave these guys alone. They're actually doing real work. And he got offended by that and turned me in. So this is my third HR strike already, and I've been there for 6 months.
Well, I mean, are you like written up for? Do they not have anybody there who has any type of
sense of humor?
Yeah.
My boss, I told him flat out today when I'm like, I've never fucking worked anywhere with people with thinner fucking skin, and he agreed with me because some of the shit, it's so petty. It's but morale's so low that all they have to do is, and I said, I walk through and I don't give a fuck what people are doing. I'm not their boss as long as it's not unsafe. If it's unsafe, yes, I'll raise my hand and say, dude, you shouldn't be doing that. We don't need anybody getting hurt because I hate the fucking safety meetings and the nagging and the fucking.
Or that's my place to nap.
Like, I'm not your boss. I'm not your fucking whatever. I'm very live and let live, but these people will nitpick. Like, the one day I went out there with my tennis shoes on and we're supposed to wear steel-toed boots. And I was only out on the floor for a good maybe 7 or 8 minutes. I got a call from HR 3 hours later. So the people on the floor are upset that you were not wearing your steel-toed shoes on the floor. I'm like, oh, Christ, I only went out there for a few minutes. Sure, rules are rules. And then, of course, I wasn't wearing my hearing protection once, so, yeah. I got dinged for that.
Jeez, oh, Pete. Tell them not to have a workplace where you have to wear steel-toe boots and hearing protection.
That's right. Can't you safeguard everything? Can't we just wrap everybody in fucking bubble wrap, including their goddamn feelings?
Well, hopefully.
Sorry I didn't appeal to your greater sensibilities.
Hopefully, what we launch on April 1st.
So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this guy. I don't understand.
But you kind of get hurt when something like that happens.
I said right away, I'm like, to my boss, I'm like, it wasn't malicious. And I realized that right after I said it, that he might construe that as something, me being mean. I said, I'll apologize. And I'll always admit when I was wrong. Should I have said it? Probably not. Was it funny as fuck? Hell yeah, it was.
Well, and for the love of God, you can't tell when somebody says something like that.
Right.
I mean, you're not his boss. You're not an authority figure over him.
And I know
so
he
why
does
the hell
work.
Does he care?
I know he does work. I see him doing work all the time. I don't care. You know what? I applaud you if you can go into work and hold a full-time job and get paid well and not have to do dick. That's the American fucking dream right there.
Absolutely.
So if you've got that figured out and you've gamed the system so that's what you do, you're my fucking hero, dude. Don't think like I'm going to sit here and fucking bash your ass about it.
Yeah. We,
I got a little spooled up about this.
At the station, we're going to have, it's going to have to be a no-bitch zone.
Right.
Like, you can't bitch about things, and you can't be a bitch.
And then just everything. Just the news about my fucking ex-wife and everything else is just fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you've had a rough week. You needed podcast.
I did. I did need the podcast.
It's therapy.
It's therapy. I'm battling a fucking cold, too, so that's why I probably sound better than I normally do. It's terrible. When I get a cold, I actually sound better.
You're a little more bassy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
This is how I wish my... Are you sure? This is how I wish my voice was normally.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Instead, it's this high-pitched fucking nasally piece of shit that I don't know why. I can't listen to this shit. Fuck. I turned it on the other day to check, an episode because I'm helping, with the whole upload into YouTube. And I'm like, I can't listen to myself on this shit.
Well, that's why what people actually will hear is I cut you out of everything.
Right? You just track it so it's just you and the guest?
Well, no, I send a transcript and I have James Earl Jones do all of
Is that
stuff.
why they think I'm so good on the goddamn podcast?
Yeah, that's why people are like, oh, Phil, you do a great job. When, you do not.
No, it's
at
not
all.
good.
Not
There's no inflection. You can't tell when I'm being serious or sarcastic. Very monotone.
One time I had you voiced by Gilbert Godfrey.
Perfect!
And people were like, oh, that makes more sense, seeing his picture.
That voice definitely matches what we think he has going on.
Yeah. So, And
then last night I got accosted and my fucking mustache trimmed up and not in a good way here at the bar by a drunk woman.
Did you trim it up at all?
I did.
I was going to say, it looks like you did. It looks all right.
And but she used fucking kitchen scissors, man. And I know she's a beautician and she cuts hair and shit, but
she definitely cut hair last night. There was a pile of it.
It scared the fuck out of me, dude. She was sawing at me like a fucking lumberjack through a fucking big piece of wood.
I couldn't believe you didn't swat her away when she had like a big handful of your beard.
I know.
Which you're just now getting back to.
Right. It's full wonderfulness.
Yeah. And she had a big hand.
Oh, she wanted to cut a lot of it off, too. Did you notice that? She was going to take it down to next to fucking nothing.
Well, she was pretty intoxicated.
She's also the one that when I was bartending a wedding last 2 summers ago, got out on the dance floor and like my favorite dress shirt, she just fucking grabbed that thing and fucking every fucking button.
I heard you talking about that.
And then one time I was bartending another wedding and I had a polo shirt on and she all 3 buttons on that fucker and or 2 buttons.
Why did she hate your clothes and your beard?
She just I think she just wants to see me stripped down to nothing and vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because I told her, a lot of my strength comes from my beard. I'm sorry. I can't get rid of it. Without that, I'm fucking nothing. I'm less than nothing. Yeah.
We've seen your naked face, and
it's not good.
Well, you look like you're about 15.
I do.
Which maybe she's into that.
Maybe the answer's in the question, my friend.
That could very well be.
So that's my fucking boss is a dick, and here's why, and my karate kick to the crotch for the day.
I can't go into my really good story yet. I will.
Okay.
Within a few weeks, I'll be able to unleash it. But
unleash the fury, Mitch. Unleash the fury.
Mostly, I've been working on our project.
Yes.
And getting all the episodes uploaded to YouTube.
Which, by the way, thanks for being a bitch, YouTube.
Oh, the copyright things are killing me. Like it'll be a song.
They picked out a 23-second snippet of Unchained Melody playing in the background, and they're like, nope, can't do this. Nope.
I'm waiting. I uploaded one today, and I just listened to a snippet of it, and we were like humming a song.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't playing anywhere, but we just like hummed a melody to a song or something.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for that one to get dinged.
Can you say that's an original arrangement by us?
I will. Yeah. That's what I'll claim. I've disputed every one of them, except there was one
that didn't let us.
That was 38 special or something, and it would not let us.
So hold on loosely.
Oh, fuck. We can't upload this one now. God.
That was less than 7 seconds.
Yeah, but it's the quality, not the quantity.
That was high quality right there.
It was. That was pretty solid.
That would fool all the bots from here to Hanoi when they fucking listen to that shit when you upload it.
So, yeah, YouTube's been a bitch with that. So if you want to hear the unedited versions, you can go out and go to any of the Apple Podcasts or Simplecast. Or Spotify.
Or
we have not pulled all of our episodes yet from Spotify because we like Joe Rogan.
We'd love to have him on the show.
Love to have him on the show. And someday, I mean, we've been within 40 places of him on the top podcasts in the U.S. We've been within 40 places of Joe Rogan, which is just weird.
We've been close enough to sniff his cologne.
I'm sure if he whipped it out, he could have hit us with it. I wouldn't say the same for us.
We're like, what's that from the top of the list? That's Joe Rogan whipping his cock out.
Yeah. But that guy eats like gazelles and,
he's an animal.
Antelopes. And he goes out and he hunts them with a knife. And
he smokes a pound of cannabis a day?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's a wild man.
Oh, man. He's intense.
And he goes in those cryo chambers and shit. I'm kind of afraid of Joe Rogan.
When we meet him, we'll have to have a talk.
Yeah. Like
take it out easy on us, man. You're the powerful, like, UFC fucking... I'm the fucking boss, and I fucking rule everything.
You ever seen him fight?
Yeah, and we're just doughboys, man. We're just fat dudes that like beer and porno and books about war.
I'll be like, don't shove it all the way in, Joe.
Just please, no.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, Joe.
Just a little bit. We can take that.
Move it up a little bit
Probably
first.
Not.
Don't use butter. I can't believe it's not butter.
No, he'd be all about, it'd be some kind of crazy garlic chive.
Andro lube.
Yeah. I'm going to use the fat from this antelope that I just killed.
It'll make your testicles 8 times bigger. If you suffer from low T, it will be low T no more. They'll be calling you Mr. T.
Or no T. Because your balls will be gone. I'll fry them balls up in butter.
Look at this goth chick up there. Do you see that on Family Feud?
Not yet.
Kind of hot. Just wait for it. Her name's Maya, though. I don't know.
Kind of reminds me of
Stacy?
Stacy.
That's my initial thought, too. You know, I message her every once in a while, but very topical. She tends to message me back, but very topical. So,
well, you know.
I can't just text her.
You should just text her sometime just finished.
Before you.
Saw that picture you posted.
Finished. Finn. It's a foreign film.
Yes.
Finn.
In my fantasy, you were speaking French.
You owe me a new phone.
Oh, because of you, I have to wear rubber sheets.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Don't you put those rubber sheets on the bed? No.
They're
I wear them.
I wear them. But rubber pants, where are we going to find them in our size?
Oh, dear Lord. So,
oh, man, my life's just been a cavalcade of shit lately. It really has. I need some hope. It's dire, man. Everything's fucking dire.
You've had a hell of a week. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. As far as weeks go, yours has been WEAK.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, too.
Oh, you're doing all right.
Like, I don't understand. You know, I realize, and I've said it before, you're not always going to be the good guy in everyone's story. You're going to be the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
But normally, if you're a bad guy in someone's story, like, you know you're going to be the bad. It's these ones where they hit me out of left field, where all of a sudden I'm the bad guy.
Well, like making a joke to somebody in the hallway.
Right.
You would not exactly expect to get reprimanded for that. But
Right.
yet here you are.
But yet here we are.
You know,
I'm just waiting for somebody to comment, oh, we listen to your podcast. Be like, what I do on my fucking free time is my goddamn business.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only had one person ever say to me,
I can't believe you say those things.
that, oh, you guys really, you talk, that could never go on the radio. Well, it's not on the radio.
It's not meant for the fucking radio.
And we're not, that's, now, on our radio station, it could be meant for that, but.
We're going to try to work a little bit cleaner, though, when we do our morning show. I mean, there'll be swearing, but we're probably not going to talk about bukkake as much or sticking things up orifices as much. No. Well, not in detail. I mean, it'll be vague. Like, you know, jam a finger up your ass, you know?
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's not going to be like, hey, you can take that fucking 13-inch aubergine fucking dildo that's veiny as fuck and shove it all the way to the last node up your goddamn arsehole.
So, is a glory hole still anonymous enough to talk about on
I think so.
broadcast radio?
I think so. I mean, so.
The beauty of this is going to be is that we're not going to have to restrain ourselves because there is no FCC over us.
Right.
And, you know, so we'll be able to be a little more free, but we also want it to be, like, friendly enough that if you have it in your headphones at work, you're not looking around like, I hope nobody heard that.
Oh, shit. I hope these people aren't listening to this right now.
Yeah. And we promise not to talk about any of you at work, any of our listeners.
Unless you want us to.
Yeah.
If you want us to absolutely roast you, send us a note. That should be a new segment. We should have a segment where we roast our listeners. Like,
Absolutely.
send us some notes, man. Text it to the hotline, email us. Just be like, hey, roast me. Send like a picture or just tell us your quality fucking traits that you think they are.
I kind of like the idea of a segment called Call Out the Bitch, where we could just call out some random person that somebody wants us to.
Right.
Over what, you know, if you don't
Over
have
how they were a bitch.
Yeah, if you don't have the balls to call this person out, we will have your balls for you.
We will call them out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's going to be lots of fun stuff like that, plus a lot of great music. We'll be expanding to more than one station shortly after the first one launches.
I'm tired already.
And
we can do it, though. I'll buck up. I'll man up.
You'll buck up.
I'm dealing with so much right now, but it's over. That's the good part. It's over. I mean,
yeah.
Literally,
water under the bridge.
I have no more affiliation with my past life other than my kids now, and that's the way it's going to be from here on out. Because I know
they are yours, right? I mean,
I'm very confident they are.
Okay.
They both have some of my worst worst traits. So yeah, pretty confident they are.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody else is going to be able to pass those on.
No.
So yeah. Okay.
Very confident.
I mean,
Yeah,
You
there's your kids are no doubters.
Yeah. What a couple of assholes.
We just wonder if they're actually Mary's or not.
Yeah. I've accused her of them not being hers. I'm like, how'd they get in there?
Would they just crawl in there one night?
So
I checked for bees.
Come to find out, she could never have kids. They were just mine alone.
My sperms are that strong. They were the alpha and the omega.
They are both. I mean, I did have all boys.
True.
So,
True.
There is that.
I don't know. I had a boy and a girl, 2 boys and 1 girl, and then one other one that I have no idea. And I'm okay with that. It was her choice, man.
Oh, well.
That's the one I had to pay for when I was unemployed and put it on a credit card. That's a sad day. If I'm thinking times are dire right now, I had $4.72 in my bank account, and I got this bitch claiming I have to pay for her abortion. So I did the logical American thing, and I put it on a credit card.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you shoved her down a flight of stairs. But
No, I tried. She was husky.
Oh, well, yeah, she probably could have absorbed it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was not some of my good judgment. I did not make good choices. That's before I used the phrase make good choices as a sign-off.
Yeah. I mean, your mom had still said it to you, and you just chose to ignore it.
I chose to ignore it.
But,
So, gentlemen out there, if you haven't got yourself fixed and you're not wearing a fucking rubber, when she says, oh, I can't get pregnant, don't believe her. Don't ever believe her.
Yeah.
Take necessary precautions and protect yourself.
Well,
women vice versa. If he's trying to say, oh, I got snipped, don't trust that either. So it goes both ways. I'm not trying to be sexist here.
Yeah.
Trust but verify.
If he says that he's, oh, I've been snipped, you should just swallow.
Yeah, just swallow it. That's the best thing to do. Absolutely.
Because there's no way it's going to make
both parties happy. It'll make both parties happy.
Yeah. Things are still good.
Because you're not going to get pregnant, and you know what? He's going to finish in the glorious way that he wanted to anyway.
There's way less cleanup.
Yeah. Just swallow it. That's the advice of the day. Stellar advice of the day.
The one weird thing when there's just the two of us here is when somebody takes a drink, the other one has to keep going because there's nobody else to pick it up.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's amazing we can do that. It's almost like we're the world's worst ventriloquist.
Well, I don't know about that.
See, keep talking. I'm taking a drink.
All right, well, I'll just keep talking over here, and I've got plenty to say, so I won't run out of anything to say.
See, and the crowd was very entertained by that, because I'm drinking, but yet...
Yeah, they would never know.
Right.
So you guys probably sit there and go, how can they do an hour-and-a-half podcast and never take a drink?
Right.
But we do. A lot.
A lot. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't cry for me, Argentina. We're doing just fine over here.
Our hydration might go into a negative because of what we drink.
Right.
But it's not for lack of trying.
Which, by the way, PBR, if you want to hop on as a sponsor, we'd love that. Excuse me. Oh, shit. I was listening to one of the podcasts he uploaded, and that, you played that drop just before the fucking, before the music, and I'm like, oh, shit.
I actually pulled that one out. It's kind of funny because I rarely ever go back and listen to an episode.
I don't.
Unless I'm to the point in my hydration that I don't remember part of the episode, and then I do.
That's like probably 40% of all our time podcasting for me.
Probably. It's every Thursday episode.
I might have a problem.
It's every Thursday episode for me.
I'm better than I was. I'm better than I was by a lot.
Years ago, I got, when I played in the band, I'd get pretty hooked up sometimes.
Yeah.
And, people are always buying you drinks, especially if you're playing places that you're, you frequent a lot. And there were times when I'd go to the sound guy the next day and I'd be like, how bad was it?
He's like, I turned you way down.
No, he actually
You actually play better when you're drunk, though. I've seen it. I've seen it.
He's like, no, you were fine. He goes, I had to kind of cut your mic back some because you got a little louder and you were saying some things during the break. So I just kind of cut your mic back some.
But as far as your guitar play.
As far as my guitar play, I was fantastic.
You're stellar. Just like that night we were up there for fucking Halloween. Yeah. And you were fucking killing it. Me, not so much. Your drummer, not so much, but it's all good.
But between the two of us, much like this podcast.
He did a good job, though.
We made it through. And
entertained, yes, and entertained the folks.
I was entertained.
That song's about hair dye. People don't know that. That song's about hair dye.
Yeah. Yep, black number 1 hair dye. The darkest hair dye.
Yeah.
The darkest hair dye.
She likes the dark. I wish I had the patience to learn an instrument. I really do, Adam, but I don't. My ADHD kicks in so much that I just can't do it. You could probably teach me, but you would get irritated with me. Trust me.
Dude, I taught guitar for a lot of years to like 8-year-olds and shit.
You could, well, I'm a 7-year-old, so there you go.
Well, so one time I had a guy bring in his daughter, and he's like, she's really gifted. And he was like a old guy that had a kid way too late.
Her play school banjo, she rocks that thing.
Yeah.
All 3.5 strings.
She got one of them little xylophones, and with all the different
She
colors.
can play Mary Had a Little Lamb.
She hits the red one really, really well.
She just pounds that.
But like literally, he talked like that. He's like, so she's pretty gifted, and so talked me into taking her on as a student because I literally had an 8-year-old and up.
Right.
I started at 8, and I was barely like cognitive enough to start.
Right.
And I didn't stick with it for long. Then I picked it up later again, but I would plink around on it and like make up my own songs that sounded like shit. But I had no capacity to play whatsoever. So the earliest I would take somebody. So he brings in like the 6-year-old girl, and no joke. So he comes in. He's like, I wanna start her on getting lessons
On a regular 6-string.
Yep. Well, she was so small that we had to get. We told him he needed to get a half-size guitar.
Yeah.
1/2 scale. So it only has like 14 frets on it. It's not,
right.
And he's like, okay. So she comes in, and she comes in for the lesson. I have him come in just so that she's not nervous and all that.
Right.
And
have a good night, Ron.
So
Please.
He brings her in with a Hello Kitty guitar that had the strings were like a inch off the fretboard. Like it was, it was so terrible. No, it was all metal strings, but it was the cat guitars are actually a higher end guitar. They're classical, but if you get a decent one. But this was not a decent guitar, and I'm like, she can't even like hold the strings down. She doesn't have the finger strength.
Right.
So I tuned it way down so the strings were kind of sloppy, and then it was awful. So he went out onto the floor, and he spent like $150 on the cheapest half scale guitar we had, which was a huge improvement.
Right.
And she played it exactly the same way. Like, she just beat the string. She broke a string during the... Yep. Just hammering on it. I'm trying to show her...
She just likes local H, dude.
Yeah. And she broke her high E string.
You high-fiving motherfucker.
I'm like, bring her back in 2 years.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what do you mean? I just bought this guitar. I'm like, yeah, you wasted your money because I told you that she wasn't going to do very well. Right. And he's like...
See, I was hoping this story would turn out the other way. Like, she just fucking nailed it and was a prodigy or something.
No. I did have a couple prodigies. It's kind of funny because I jammed a few weeks ago with one of my former students, and he's pretty damn good. Like, I didn't teach him all that shit, so...
See, I've never been good at anything, so I wish I could be good at something like a guitar.
So, and it's weird.
Or a bass guitar.
When you get to a certain level, like, you can teach techniques, but people have to practice them so much to get efficient with them, and they watch you do it, and you've been doing it for so long that...
They get frustrated. That's where I get.
You show them something... So I try not to, I try to be very conscious of, noodling.
And for me, the music that I like, and I see these people playing it, I want to be like them, but these are the motherfuckers that have played that song probably 72,000 times at this point,
Oh, yeah. It's a... There's, a whole... I guess the best way to put it is there's, a whole stigma that comes with it should just be easy. Everybody, it looks so easy when you do it. I'm going to.
But you put in the time to practice, and that's just like when you see your favorite band that's a major recording artist, national recording artist, and they're at Pine Knob or they're at whatever. They're fucking tired of playing that song, but they got it out and they put on an act just for you because they've already played that song probably 50,000 times, Adam. Do you agree with that or no?
Oh, God. So years ago when I used to play with Eddie Fury and the guys at Dread Trip, and we had songs released to the radio, and we were doing, going out and playing as much as we possibly could. I mean, usually 4 nights a month.
Right.
A, it was good money, and B, it was just, it was just fun. I mean, you're 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
That's just a damn good time.
That's what you should be doing at that age.
So I'm going to try and pull this up here. So here's like a here's a song that me and a buddy released in 2015. It was basically just him and I.
You're not going to get us a copyright dig, are you?
No. Actually own the copyright to this one, so.
Well,
oh, God damn it.
We're waiting. How about a Fresca?
Yeah.
Where'd it go? It's in the lumberyard, Nanny. Sorry, I've been doing Caddyshack quotes.
You know what kills me is, like, I go to bring this up.
Yeah.
And I don't have it on this computer. I would just bring it up on here.
Right.
But it asked me to pay for it.
Really? So if you want to watch a good movie, I think it's on Netflix if you don't mind Netflix after everything they've done horrible to everybody. But let's face it, at this point in the game, everyone's done something horrible to everybody. Futile and Stupid Gesture. You should check it out. So it's about the guy that started the National Lampoon magazine, and he was also instrumental in writing Caddyshack and Animal House. So, Doug Kenny. Give it a check out, man. Great movie. Made me cry. Because that's what I would love to be someday. And this guy had it all and offed himself at 33.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. Brilliant, though. Fucking brilliant. And here we are. In an empty bar doing a podcast. So, any text, emails, anything else? Nothing's happening.
This is not coming through the...
It's like when I try to get an erection these days. Just nothing's happening. There it... Whoa, what was that?
So this is a song that Rick Bittner and I did. Basically, he did drums, bass, and some of the rhythm guitar stuff. I did all the lead. We double-teamed on vocals. It was a lot of fun. We basically recorded this in the upper part studio of his now gone garage. And
nice.
We called ourselves Synthetic Soul. And we had a few other friends that, like... this was the first song we recorded. And so it was just a good time. And then we actually brought in a few other friends for some songs and some co-authors of some music. But it was good times. I'm gonna skip forward here too. I think this is probably the best solo I've ever recorded.
Copy that.
Not this part.
Not this part.
It comes up right after this part. It's like, it was a long solo because I don't know why. It just kind of fit.
Sometimes when you're playing with yourself, you want it to last a little bit longer.
Well, that is true. So I'm really proud of this part.
Nice fretwork. Can you still play that?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll get the bitches.
You know, it's weird because when you play something, that was one take. Like, I thought of it in my head and literally just threw it down in one take.
Nice.
And but that's one of those things where, you know, somebody sees you play something like that, and I can play that because it's mine. It's out of my head. I can play it so easy. It doesn't look like I'm doing anything.
That's like the progression of what you think it should be.
Yeah, and so like I actually have had somebody say to me sometime, "How do you play that so easy?" It's like, I don't know. You know,
it's natural. It's your natural movements.
It was very natural. It was very, very much a very organic thing.
And that's what we do, and that's what we do even here on the podcast. This is just all organic, man.
Yeah. I mean, this really is pretty much, I know I've heard a lot of people say, and so, for example, when I do a football broadcast, here's another good part.
Very, very 60s psychedelic.
Yeah.
But I dig it. I love the music from then. I love all music, though.
Can't get copyright dinged on that, bastard.
If they do, tell them jam it up their ass. I own that, bitch.
Yeah, that is me. Cocky son of a
You
bitch.
fucking terrible bot.
You YouTube, who I hope pays us lots of money for us putting out a bunch of episodes on there.
What a whore.
So I actually had somebody already tell me that we should be able to monetize very, very fast on YouTube, which would be awesome. I mean, I don't know that we'll make a lot of money, but somebody's like, well, how many episodes are you uploading to YouTube? Because there was a post on one of the forums I'm on, and they're like, anybody posting to YouTube, has it helped you? And I'm like, well, we're just starting to post. And somebody put on there, well, how many episodes do you have? I'm like, 155 we're uploading. And literally they came back and said, oh, you should probably be monetizing in like a week.
Right.
I'm like,
so get out there
if the copyrights don't fuck us.
So get out there and just hit it. Hit subscribe. We need you to subscribe. I don't ask very often. Early in the podcast, I would ask. I haven't asked for a long time. But I'm asking, if you listen to the podcast, even if the forum you get us from is not YouTube, just go subscribe to our channel and hit like and subscribe, please.
Subscribe to the channel. Share it.
Right.
There might be somebody just as sick as you are that would enjoy it.
Yeah, as perverse as you are.
Yeah.
Because we love you, all of our fans.
Share it on the pages you frequent on like YouPorn and things like
all
that.
All 500 or so plus unique listeners we have out there. Just share it. Just share it. Sharing
It's actually more than that now.
I know it is.
It's kind of crazy.
The numbers are fucking ridiculous. So on the one platform, just the one platform, 23 days ago, we finally hit 10,000 total downloads. We're at 15,000 total downloads on that fucking platform now.
Yeah, it's nuts. And like the unique listeners is what kind of gets me, because, and then there's more unique listeners than I figured we had.
Right.
Like the same device listening over and over. And
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We make fun that we don't want to listen to this shit, but we want you to want to listen to this shit.
And if you want us to listen to it, if you would like an episode of us just listening to old shit,
if you want us to review, if you want us to play one of our old episodes and
clip show,
what is that? The theater, Mystery Theater.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
If you want us to do that with it, we will absolutely do that. We will pick ourselves apart, because I can promise our listeners this: we are our own worst critics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We will fucking roast ourselves all the high health. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh, I feel I'm half frittata when I'm on here.
Which, by the way, thank you for bringing that up. So I get a picture from Mary the other night on Messenger.
Oh, dear.
It's just Adam wearing his. I see the frittata shirt, and it has like 4 stains on it. And then and this is a close up of the frittata PNA Podcast Express shirt that we received at the 150th. And then she zooms out, and it's just Adam wearing his frittata shirt, eating Mexican food like a big old pig, just all over his fucking shirt. And I was
so hungry.
And I said, that is so apropos. And then I get a text from Adam, you and Mary are both on my shit list. Because I said, wow, that's very fitting.
Yeah. Well, the shirt did fit nice. It also, a lot of food fit on that shirt.
I love the zoom in. She released that perfectly, because it was just a zoom in on your frittata shirt with like all the stains, and then a zoom out of you just housing some fucking Mexican food.
Oh, I had a Hot Rock out at La Hacienda, and
which, by the way, sponsor us.
Yes.
We'll
holy shit, they're so good.
Yeah,
so good. I'd work for Hot Rocks. If they could feed you and I, like, once a week we get to go out and each have a Hot Rock. Holy shit.
The only problem is I'm really trying to lose weight. Because
it's all good stuff. It's like green pepper. And
so like Mexican food actually is some of the better food for you like that, because as long as you stay away, the key is, and I've found, is to stay away from, of course, deep fried. Anything deep fried is going to be the death knell of making you fat.
Yeah, but you know what my favorite thing is like the deep fried chimichanga.
A chimichanga is the fucking best.
Like the wet chimichanga with all the queso gravy over it. Oh,
God.
good Lord. And theirs is so good out there.
Fuck.
I hadn't had a Hot Rock in a while.
That was a terrible pour. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So,
If I wanted a good pour, I wouldn't have you do it.
oh, shit! Oh, shit! So, I'm trying to lose weight because I've accepted the term that, I want to find a suitable mate, and I like skinny girls, so I might have to be less fat in order to make that happen. So,
I think skinny girls' standards are lowering.
I hope so.
Because there's a lot
I hope so.
I mean, there's way more fat guys out there.
But I'm obviously not rich enough, and let's face it, in the looks department, I'm very lacking. My personality, for the right person, can be gold. You'd think I'm pretty funny. The problem is I can't turn it off. So therein lies the problem. It takes a special person to put up with me.
Hence being to HR 3 times.
Because I will fucking tell you the worst jokes at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning right when I wake up in bed. I'm just like, oh, shit! And yeah. I can't turn it off. It doesn't turn off. So that's the problem. Like, who said it? Eric said it, and a few other people like, you're one of the most sarcastic people I've ever met. I'm like, am I?
What a dick.
I don't realize I'm sarcastic.
I'd have a lot more My Friend's a Dick and Here's Why stories if you weren't on this podcast.
I know, right?
My Friend's a Dick and Here's Why. Well, he's sitting across from me.
See, my agent told me to cut that one off, like, just right head first.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to be on this podcast because if not, My Friend's a Dick and Here's Why is going to be all about you.
Well, that leads me to another announcement. I'm starting another podcast, Phil's a Dick and Here's Why.
I'd listen to that.
Well, yeah.
I'd want everybody to be on it. If you have a story about me being a dick or you thinking I'm a dick, please, by all means.
You can call in 810-294-0455. That's 810-294-0455. 810-294-0455.
See, we have this technology, too. Don't think just because you call in and we don't answer that you can't leave a message. You can leave a voicemail, and we can play that very easily on the podcast.
Or you can leave a text.
It can be like a 2 or 3 minute voicemail. Am I not wrong? Yeah.
You are correct. You are correct. For instance...
so if you have a story to tell, call in and leave it on the voicemail. Absolutely. We'd love that. We'd play it. We'd like nothing better.
I have to scroll down a ways now for...
I know, we're getting a lot of activity. It's good, though.
Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong section.
The hotline's been a boon for the podcast, for sure.
Oh, it has. It's amazing to me that this many people have this to say.
I'm just upset we didn't get to it earlier. Oh.
This was...
the opus.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, God. This goes through my head every day.
The fuck? What the fuck? The fuck?
Thank you to Matt Smith for that. That is one of the best drops of our show. It's going to be legendary. I have people text me when shit happens to them in their day. That goes through their head, and I said, me too. Me too. What the fuck?
I noticed I do this the other day. I use frittata way more than I probably should.
Yeah, it's all good.
And so I had a friend tell me that they started using frittata. Nice. Like they got pissed off and they're like, fucking frittata. And I'm like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, because...
Which shout out, what day was Turbo's birthday? Speaking of frittatas.
The 28th.
Yeah, happy birthday, Travis. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday. So you do realize that the same day Space Shuttle Columbia exploded.
Oh, nice. That's good stuff.
I'm sorry, Challenger.
The Challenger.
Back
in 1985.
Yes. And we were literally sitting in the library at the elementary school, which was like a big,
celebrating
huge open room.
Turbo's birthday.
Well, we're in there. It's Travis's birthday, and we're all feeling good about everything. We're all hyped up on cupcakes because his mom sent a bunch of shit in for us to eat. And it's just after lunch, so we had all this stuff. We're all in there, we're all excited. There's a teacher going into space. All the teachers were excited.
All of a sudden, pacow!
And then all of a sudden, we're just going to go back to class now and act like nothing happened. Do your math.
Dang.
I mean, that's literally how it was. Like, ignore the giant fireball on the TV or they had it on a projector.
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah.
That is one of the things that really shaped my brain because of all the memories I have. That's the one. Like, I remember hearing about it, seeing it at school, and then going home and just seeing the replay over and over again at my grandmother's because they didn't play anything else on the TV besides that on the news.
No. Well, there was only 3 channels back then.
Well, we had 7 because we skipped the water to get Canadian channels, too.
Oh, okay. So you were watching CKLW on Channel 42.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this space shuttle exploding.
We're going to talk about the American flying machine.
It went out and about in flames.
I don't know why they're British all of a sudden. Shove
off, you hoser. We're going to go play some hockey and not worry about it.
Yeah, hopefully nothing falls on us on the hockey rink.
We're just worried about some debris in the net on the east end of the rink.
It's an outdoor hockey rink, so it's like -7 today, so it's kind of warm.
Yeah. We don't know what happened, but those Americans have never been very good at math.
You think -7 is really cold, but it's Celsius, so it's really not.
We aren't very good at math either, but we do 3 periods of hockey in up to 20 minutes each, and we can count all the goals because generally it's no more than 10.
Yes. But still better than soccer, eh?
Yeah. They don't score any in soccer.
That's why we don't play soccer here. That and there's only grass on the field for like 2 months out of the year, eh?
Yeah. You ever tried to play soccer in skates? It doesn't work very well, eh?
No, it's really rough. A lot of deflated balls.
A lot of deflated balls.
Plus, on top of that, you don't want to get kicked in the sack with one of those skates, eh?
That's why I can't have kids.
I had a vasectomy before a vasectomy was cool.
I was only 17. It's very traumatic when you see both of your nuts and your vas deferens laying on the ice.
But I shot them in there, and they counted as 2 goals.
That's right.
Eh?
Remember when Nicholas Lidstrom for the Red Wings got speared with a fucking hockey stick in the nutsack? It ripped his scrotum, and he still fucking finished the game.
Yeah.
This dude had stitches in his ball sack, and he finished the goddamn game.
So the one thing I've come to know is, like, hockey players and wrestlers are not correct in the head.
Right.
Like, they will do shit that nobody else will do. You know, there are moves which I won't discuss that wrestlers have that are pretty
Oh, the old moose claw?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to throw him in the old moose claw.
Anybody who's wrestled, when I say, oh, wow, they really checked the oil, they know what that means.
Yeah. Well, Andre the Giant patented that, I believe, so.
But, like, hockey players are nuts, too. I mean, I've literally watched a friend of mine when we were in high school. He dislocated his finger at, like, the knuckle at the palm of the hand, right? His middle finger. Right. And it was about half the length of his other fingers. And I watched him come over to the side, and we're looking at it. He's like, oh, my finger's screwed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you dislocated it. He's like, oh, you think it's just dislocated? And he just grabs it and pulls it out. And while he's pulling it out, he has them tape it so that it stays in place the rest of the match. Went out and finished the match.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. That was pretty hardcore.
So I fancy myself a pretty tough guy in my own right. And one of the worst ones I ever had was I was blocking a guy because I was an offensive lineman, a big ugly, because I'm big, fat, and ugly. And I looked down at my thumb, the top of my thumb, my thumbnail's touching my fucking wrist. And I went over to the sideline, and it hurt like hell. I said, it was my senior year. I'm like, I'm not leaving the game for this shit. So put that shit back in and tape it up.
Yep, it's a thumb.
Yeah.
It's a thumb,
and I did. Oh, and I bet you that's probably the most I've ever howled in my life when they fucking set that thing back up. Mm-hmm. And they had to hear me on both sidelines. But I went back in and played.
I busted my hand my senior year and literally just went back and wrestled 10 days later.
Yeah.
Like snapped a finger. Not a finger. Right. I snapped the like long bone in your hand.
Right.
You can see how much lower my pinky is on this side.
Oh, yeah.
So on my right hand, I snapped the long bone and was in a cast for 10 days, and I'm like, screw it.
I got to go.
I missed one tournament.
It's time to go.
And one dual meet, and I'm like, yep. So, all right, this is good.
My junior year of football, it was preseason, and we were doing drills, and I went to do, agilities, and my ankle planted, and it just kept turning. fucking turned that thing sideways. And it hurt, but I just kept taping it up. So I played the whole season, but it hurt. It hurt all year. I had to have it taped all year. At the end of the season, I went to a physical therapist, and he's looking at it, and he's like, let's get some x-rays. He's like, of all the sprain grades, this is the worst, and one of the worst I've ever seen. How did you play on this? I'm like, I played all fucking season. I just had the fucker taped up.
Yeah.
He's like, here's the bad part. I can't do anything for you now at this point.
Yeah.
He said, you're lucky it's healing okay. He said, but he said, how did you fucking plan that? He said, that pain had to... I'm like, the pain never really bothered me. It was just the inconvenience of every time I'd try to go to plan or do something, it would send that shot up through my spine, you know?
So in order for me to wrestle the rest of the year, we went to the doctor. My mom scheduled an appointment. I'm like, I'm going to wrestle regardless.
Right.
I'd like to get some kind of padding for it or brace, something made. So she schedules an appointment with the doctor, and we were seeing a Dr. Pancratz up in Bad Axe, who's a really, really good bone guy. And I go in there, he's like, I will do an x-ray, but it's pointless to do it already. It's only been 10 days since you were in here. And they had to re-break it and set it.
Yeah.
So they re-broke it. I wouldn't, they wanted to give me a shot for it. I'm like, just do it. The shot will be worse than you actually doing it. So he just re-broke it, set it, casted it. So I go back up there 10 days later, and I'm like, so I had like a half cast that I could take off.
Yeah.
And my mom was a massage therapist. She did a lot of sports stuff. Like she'd worked on the Olympic teams and stuff like that. And she's like, take your cast off. Don't grab anything. Don't do anything, but type. So I would sit there with a typing tutor on the computer and just type for hours.
Just get that movement.
Just to
agility.
get the movement. Yeah. And then we did I took a buttload of calcium.
Yeah.
So that it would fuse better. And so he's like, so we go there, and I'm like, I feel like I'm good enough to wrestle. He's like, we'll take an x-ray, but no, you're not good enough to wrestle yet. So we take the x-ray, and he comes back, and he's like, I'll let you wrestle. And I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
He goes, I'll let you wrestle because it has healed way more than I figured it would.
Right.
And he says, but I want you to wear a brace because if you hit it against something on the side like that, because it was my pinky finger, he's like, if you hit it against something, it's going to be bad.
Right.
He goes, it'll break again. He goes, but I know it's your senior year. We'll get you back out there. So we had to go to Bay City because I wanted to wrestle the next day.
Yeah.
We went to Bay City, had a cast made at a place. Well, not a cast, but a brace. And it went up on my forearm just a little bit. And then it was flexible so I could move my wrist. But then it went up over top of my pinky, and it kind of went to the middle of my hand. And it was like I don't know how to explain it, a soft plastic, but a plastic,
Is it more of a anything blunt force wasn't going to affect it? It was a little flexible, pliable, but in case you had that hit.
Right. And then they put some more foam on the inside of it.
Right.
And I had to tape the hell out of my hands. So I used to tape both my hands.
Yeah.
So I shaved my arms from below my elbow down.
I had to shave my ankle that whole season.
Yeah. Which, if you don't time it right, is just a prickly nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
So I would tape both hands so that, because if I was wrestling somebody and they had a taped appendage, I'm targeting that.
Of course.
Because wrestlers are assholes.
So make them guess, right?
So make them guess. And just tape them both and make them look exactly the same. And they did. By the time I was done, they looked exactly the same. And I wrestled the rest of the season with that brace on and stuff. But I only missed 2 meets with a broken arm, with a broken hand.
That's pretty wild.
And I was told I was done for the season.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty glad I wasn't because,
No, absolutely. And I don't know. It's just one of those things. Other than emotional pain, I have a high threshold for physical pain. So.
Yeah, but emotional pain's different.
Yeah, it's really getting me down right now.
Yeah,
like when you mentioned Bay City, like I loved Bay City. I worked in Bay City in college for 2.5 years, 3 years at SC Johnson.
At SC Johnson?
And wanted to work there as a career, but I graduated from Saginaw Valley. So they could have us there as contract engineering co-ops, they called us. Which the only nice thing they ever did for us was the fact that it counts as engineering experience, even though technically we were still in school.
Right.
But when we went to graduate, there were 7 of us, and they paid us, back then, $12 an hour I made, so they paid like $16 for us, contractor, $18 or whatever. We did a lot of work. So we all go to graduate from Saginaw Valley, and we all go to apply for jobs and want jobs there, even though we've been there 2.5, 3 years and done a good job. And like they even said it, like when we went to their like profit sharing meetings, like thanks to you guys for helping us out, blah blah. They didn't recognize degrees from Saginaw Valley for engineering, so they wouldn't hire us.
Why in the world would they not recognize them?
Right. And they said, plus you're not diverse enough, is what they told me.
Well, that means that
right.
you're brown-eyed.
So that's the one that the girl that I helped from U of M got offered a job, even though I did her whole project for her, and she got these big kudos. Like, we did this project that probably saved the company about $700,000 a year. And I did probably 80% of the work. And then she did her presentation because she was an intern because she went to U of M for engineering. And, which I banged her, by the way. And, nice. Nice. And, and as soon as she got done with her presentation for that project, they offered her a job on the spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're helping people.
She turned it down, though. But yeah, and the rest of us are like, we want fucking jobs. But anyway, the moral of the story is, so for a lot of years, I wanted to get back into Bay City and start working, but my ex-wife was always like, I fucking hate Bay City. Bay City's the worst. Guess where her fiance's from, and she wants to move to now.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Which really, what she meant was, I just don't want to do anything you want to do.
She never did. Just like listening to the band Clutch. I told you that story. Like one day she's listening to it, and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's Clutch. Come to find out he's like this huge Clutch fan. And I'm like, I played this for you back when we were married all the time. And you're like, that's bullshit. I hate it. Fuck you. She's a relationship chameleon, man.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, I've actually really lucked out in that department.
So I got the yips now. I don't. And that's why, I always thought about her and what she'd want me to do. And I've been working toward that since we got divorced. And I should have been working toward what Phil wants. And now that's going to be the goal, is working toward what Phil wants.
Sometimes, I think that when you are in a relationship, I think people underestimate the importance of you being happy in order to make somebody else happy.
Right.
And you get concentrating on what you need to do for them, and sometimes it gets overwhelming and annoying to them.
But it didn't really hurt me, the fact that I fixed myself a lot since then, and I went through hell, and I did. I put in the time, as we talked about with guitar work earlier. I put in the time, I put in the hours of therapy, I went to an outpatient program. I started journaling, I started doing everything I started to, which, by the way, this is almost like a spoken word oral journal for me.
Absolutely.
Honestly, and it's therapy, as you alluded to earlier. And I'm not the person I was 5 or 6, 7 years ago. And I'm not living like I was. And now I'm starting to pick up the pieces again. It's funny because when I got my divorce, I didn't even hire a lawyer because I was so far down on the mats, I had no fight left in me. I gave her everything she wanted, and it wasn't cheap.
No.
And now, I mean, for reference, since my son was born over 14 years ago, she's only worked 2.5 years of part-time jobs in that whole 14 years, went back to school, got her bachelor's degree, and now as well as her master's degree, going to school full-time and doing nothing else besides that. And I've paid for it all, and now this guy comes along and she's engaged, so there we go.
Well,
yeah.
Think of it as your own personal welfare.
I guess. I could never live like that because I could never do that to somebody else.
No. But that also...
And there's nothing I want... I'm not in love with my ex-wife, but I love the fact that I want it to be a family again someday because I see how important that is. So if you have that in your life, hold on to it. Don't give up easy. Relationships are work. You have to commit to working at a relationship every single fucking day. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Well, but you know what? It's worth it. It's fucking worth it. If you have that person that you love more than anyone else, if you have that person that at the end of the day, when something bad happens, when something great happens, that's the first person you want to tell, you fucking hold on to that, man.
Yeah.
Sorry to go on a fucking... Yeah.
No, you're right.
A bummer. I'm sorry.
And honestly, there's probably somebody out there that listens to this that goes... Oh, yeah, I kind of needed to hear that. I'm... Because
once it's gone...
Oh, yeah, it's not coming back.
You can never get that back. Nope. And I've spent hours and hours and hours in AA meetings fucking crying my eyes out, listening to their stories and coming to the realization that it's never coming back for me either. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, shit, I'm not as bad as this guy. You know what? I am, and I was.
You know, I had somebody tell me one time, and this was just in casual conversation, but I had a person I'm very close to tell me one time, you don't realize how lucky you are because you're on that first marriage.
Right.
You're on that first, all of that, and once that's gone, you can never get it back.
See, and I'm an asshole.
And I've never taken that for granted.
Right. But I'm the asshole here because my kids are still fairly young, and it annoys the shit out of me that she's got her ready-made family now because he's got a kid that's just a little bit older than my son. So they're going to pour that into a ready-made family. I never wanted to date somebody that had kids because I don't want to have to split my love up between my kids and somebody else's. And that's selfish for me, I feel like. But I also want that for my kids. I want that for my kids. Like, I want them to have everything. And when they get older, it's not going to be as big of a deal. My parents didn't do that to me. Her parents didn't do that to her at all either, which I don't understand why this is happening. But as I get older, there'll be a time for it.
Well, on the same token, though, I mean, if she actually cares about this guy, she can't really help that.
Right.
You know,
and that's honest. That's honest. Thank you.
She's got 2 kids that she's bringing into the mix. He's got 1.
I appreciate. Actually, he's got 2, but one of them is a 24-year-old that will never talk to him again.
Well, maybe he'll end up banging her and break the whole thing up.
Dude, when you've got a son that won't talk to you, an adult son that won't talk to you, something's inherently wrong with you, though. If you're
I'm hoping to get there someday, but
bazinga.
But no, seriously, I mean, it's one of those things that
I'm going to get off. Sorry, I just needed some therapy. I know this is not a funny segment. I'm sorry.
No, but we're rarely funny, so I think people are used to it.
I mean, I
think people tune in for our suffering.
You know what? There's going to be people that are fucking laughing their ass off at this right now.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, Phil, what a fucking idiot.
What the fuck?
Right?
What the fuck?
That guy's a fucking idiot. Not you, Matt. Me.
What a frittata.
Yeah. What a frittata.
No, I really think that, you know, there's part of you that is afraid to, and trust me, everybody's thought about that at some point.
Right.
Like, you know, you get in a fight with your spouse and you're like, I'm fucking divorced.
Grass is always greener.
And you know, then you start to think about what that looks like and you go, well, I don't want to do this to my kids. I don't want to do that to my kids. And really, what your kids need is for you to be happy and whole.
And they see it, and that's what's bothering me, too. Like, the last couple of weekends, my son gets it. Like, he started to, because all I could do, I can't even get off the mat lately. Like, the last couple of weekends, I've been sleeping a lot and everything, and he'll, like, vacuum and clean up his room and, like, do all this shit. And I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing,
He gets a dustbuster out and hits your beard.
Yeah, you know, and my nutsack and everything else.
Poor kid. At least that doesn't take long.
Right. It's not ain't no mountain high enough.
But like, oh, that's going to be another copyright infringement. Thanks.
That's only 4.5 seconds.
There was one that was only like 6 seconds.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, YouTube.
God damn.
We're coming back. Sorry to do that. I don't know, and I don't know, and I say this, and I'm not young. I don't have a ton of years left. Like, I'm probably realistically over halfway through my life. But I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Statistically, well, I know what I want to do. I want to have a radio station, and I want to do a podcast.
Right.
And I want to make Joe Rogan fucking money.
That's
and
right.
I want to be high as Joe Rogan, and I want to be in a cryo chamber and be like, yeah, I eat nothing but elk, bitches.
Dude, I want to be, like, in a cryo chamber beside Joe Rogan smoking cigars together.
Big weed cigars.
Just big old blunts. Big old blunts. And be like, hey.
What a day.
This is the life, Joe. This is the fucking life. And he's like, hey, so what have you heard about this Neil Young character?
He'd be like, hey, you guys want to go down and fight in the octagon? No.
No.
You're a badass and you would break me.
No. Can we get some, like, little people to do that for us?
Can we fight some more blunts?
That's right. Can we, like, fight for a sandwich?
Yeah. No, I don't want to fight him for anything.
No, I don't. I meant just, like, fight to put together a sandwich.
Or, like, eat a sandwich. Like,
or
a sandwich so big you got to fight to get it down.
Or find someone to make us a sandwich and give us free bacon, maybe.
Oh. Well, if you're hanging with Joe Rogan, the free bacon's probably
just
around.
Ubiquitous. There's free bacon everywhere. When you're hanging with Joe Rogan, the hand jobs are aplenty. The problem is sometimes it's not necessarily women, but use your imagination.
Yeah. You know, that's what the glory hole's all about.
That's right. Use your imagination.
Mike sucks for not being here.
I agree.
It makes the glory hole comments.
It's not as
almost not even worth saying.
They don't hit home as well.
No, I mean when you don't have like somebody who frequents the glory hole here,
like or name the glory hole cowboy. Like I feel that segment's falling flat on its face right now. That bothers me.
This is 2 weeks in a row for him, and I know
we need a food challenge too. By the way, we really do.
Send us some suggestions of what you'd
challenges,
of what you'd like to see us try and choke down.
And chances are, with the way things have been going on this podcast lately, it's just going to be me eating while Adam talks.
Well, so if I come up with my own food challenges, it's going to be like the Wagyu steak food challenge.
Right.
Like, okay, how many perfectly cooked Wagyu steaks can you
bill it to the podcast?
Yeah. Yeah. Bill it
I see what you did there. Like, put this on the Gutenberg Fund.
Yeah. So, yeah, put that under the line item 7 Gutenberg goods.
Which, can we play the Steve Gutenberg shout out to me again, please? That thing that warms my heart. That'll buoy my spirits, honestly.
We can. We haven't played that. We didn't play that at all last week.
We did once last week, but I want to play it again this week because it's magical. This is honestly, if I had to think about the nicest things anyone's ever done for me, this is in the top 10. I'm not going to lie.
I would be lying if I said that this wasn't a little bit time consuming to put together.
Right.
So as much as we try not to plan the podcast, there was no way to get around pulling this off without planning. But I literally, with the help of my beautiful wife, in searching for different Steve Gutenberg stuff, we were able to put this together.
Hey, I'm Steve Gutenberg.
Hello.
To
Phil Nickel.
I'm really excited about doing some messages for you.
P&A Podcast Express.
And if you want me to mention Police Academy or Short Circuit or Cocoon or any of the other
glory holes
I've been in, it'd be my pleasure. Wish you happy birthday or happy bar mitzvah, whatever you like. Anyway, I'm glad to be here, and it's a great way to connect with you guys. And you've supported me over the years, and I want to support you.
Horny grapefruit.
So, thanks so much, and talk to you soon.
Oh, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a lot of fun to put together.
That's amazing. That's one of the most amazing pieces of audio we've ever featured here on the podcast.
I laughed for a solid couple hours doing that. I mean, just everything we added to it and
horny grapefruit.
Yeah, that was Anthony, by the way.
That's nice.
That reprised his role as the horny grapefruit god.
Thank you, Anthony.
So, it was a team effort there at the Filkins Ranch.
I appreciate that. Like I said, if I had to classify the nicest things anyone's ever done for me, that's right up there.
Yeah,
it really is.
I really want to. I actually looked into having him do a TikTok.
Yeah,
or not a TikTok, a
cameo.
Cameo.
Yeah,
and having him do it, and I thought $250 maybe, but then when I looked into if it's not if it mentions P&A Podcast Express at all, $2,500.
So that is better.
This I felt was more personal.
And Goot, if you want to justify this and rectify this and give it to us, feel free. Give us a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll let you do the whole thing without the voiceovers.
Absolutely.
Free of charge.
We'd still like you to announce Horny Grapefruit and Glory Hole.
No, you have to say the same script. But
in
your voice.
In your voice.
Right.
And
we know you're listening, Gutenberg's people. I know you're listening.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm looking forward to is YouTube transcripts, everything that you put up there.
Right.
So all of this is going to come out as Steve Gutenberg saying it, and so some deaf person's going to look at it and go, "What the hell is Gutenberg doing? He's really went down tubes."
I can't believe.
Hey, I'm Steve Gutenberg.
Hello.
To
Phil Nickel.
I'm really excited about doing some messages for you.
P&A Podcast Express.
And if you want me to mention Police Academy or Short Circuit or Cocoon or any of the other
glory holes
I've been in, it'd be my pleasure.
I like how you got that S in there from him too.
Mitzvah,
glory holes.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's S.
I'm glad to be here, and it's a great way to connect with you guys. And you've supported me over the years, and I want to support you.
Goddamn right, we've supported you, Steve Gutenberg.
Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.
Every time Police Academy is on some random B network,
I stop and watch it.
Hell yeah, I do.
That's on my list of movies: Caddyshack, Animal House, any of the police academies. If I'm scrolling through whatever,
especially the first one,
right?
I mean, the first one is gold. You get to like Police Academy 6, you know.
He's not even in.
Space.
He's not even in Police Academy 6. I think he's in the first 4 or 5.
It's just, at that point, it's just Michael Winslow.
So number 7, number 7.
Yeah, anybody can do your job, Michael Winslow.
Not really.
Although, if you would like to be on the podcast and
Michael
show
Winslow,
us,
give us a call.
Yeah, you ever seen him do a Whole Lot of Love by?
Yes, and he does all of it by Led Zeppelin. Like can you look that? That'll get a copyright ding, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Even though him doing it should get a. We can play a couple seconds of it, I'm sure.
And it sound. You need fooling. You need cooling. Well, baby, I ain't fooling. God damn it. All right, now you got me charged back up. You know my fucking absolute love of Led Zeppelin. So I'm going to apologize in advance for segments I do on the rock station. It's going to be a lot of Led Zeppelin.
It's going to be a lot of like, this is the Phil jerking off to Led Zeppelin hour.
Sploosh.
Where'd my kid go?
Sploosh, but with semen. And if you don't like Led Zeppelin, go fuck yourself. Although we'll get some Black Sabbath. And you know who's underutilized anymore and people don't really play him a lot is the Doors. I feel like there's got to be a Doors resurgence here coming up. Is that wrong?
I don't know.
You're not a Doors fan, are you?
No.
But musician-wise, they were amazing. Robbie Krieger.
Yeah.
What is this? Is this him doing this?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Led Zeppelin. You want to do the original artist key of E?
Yeah. Wow.
All right,
He's making all these sounds with his mouth.
Yeah.
And fucking nailing it. All right, kill it. Yeah. No, that's amazing.
You should really go out and watch that.
And that's on, who's that on? Is that on Conan? No, that's on, what's his nuts, dumbass.
I'm not sure who this is on.
Anyway, just look up Michael Winslow.
Michael Winslow, Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin.
It gets a little filthy, though.
Yeah.
Like, I wish Led Zeppelin would dirty it up like that. Like a fucking rusty steak knife cutting through a fucking steak, man.
Yeah. No, that is classic, and Michael Winslow does such a great job on it. Mm-hmm. He is amazing. I mean, I know we just made fun of him, but he is amazing.
You're always welcome on the show, Michael Winslow. Always. And we know your people listen, too.
Yes.
All the people
For sure.
listen.
For sure.
So what's going on? Anything else we want to talk about? Any text, any emails, any random shit?
I got a text from Cookie saying hi. Holy Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
From Cookie.
Snowmageddon!
Snowmageddon! Snowmageddon! What's the snow?
We ought to get these guys in the oil drilling rig and from an oil drilling rig, and we're going to send them up to this meteor and with a nuclear bomb, and we're only going to train them for like 7 days. And
You okay?
did you have to poop?
Several hours in there? You all right?
Anything difficult? What did he say?
He's not going to dignify this with a response.
That's okay. It was a good bit. It wasn't.
I should go check and see if I have a grandchild in the toilet or something.
Baby found in bar toilet.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Weird part it was the men's restroom. It's a terrible bit.
Don't worry, Andrew. We're an hour and 14 in. Nobody's listening.
Backtrack. You need cooling. Oh, baby, I ain't fooling.
Him doing the drums even is amazing.
Right? Once we get our license, can we just like play a bunch of Led Zeppelin on the podcast? No, people wouldn't like that, would they? I forget. People don't have the love for Led Zeppelin like I do.
Oh, but on the station, we could have
Right.
like a Led Zeppelin bit.
Right.
You know, late at night when nobody listens.
Oh, you son of a
would.
bitch.
You would. That's all we need.
Why don't here's why I thought about this a lot in my endeavors. Led Zeppelin, in my life, the one thing that's been constant is Led Zeppelin. Like, I remember at a very young age listening to Led Zeppelin. So, of all my years on this earth, there's always been Led Zeppelin. Does that make any sense?
Except for they're really not anymore.
But their music is here forever.
Well, their music has existed, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Like, I remember everything. So what else is funny? Did we get something else? Somebody ping the hotline?
I quickly glanced at a message we got from Cookie.
Right.
On my phone, but I didn't catch the full until I pulled it up on the computer.
Is it a dick pic?
No. It just says, Holy Snovosphere, Batman.
Holy Snovosphere, Batman. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice.
Back at the Hall of Justice. Aquaman makes a sandwich because he can't do shit.
Still one of my favorite bits.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Because he can't do shit.
Oh, he was so good live. Like,
yeah.
I thought I had heard everything of his until we saw him live. His live show is great. I mean, he goes for over an hour.
Wow.
And, like, most comedians that I've seen are like a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
He goes over an hour. And, you know, Caliendo's famous for all of his, like,
Frank Caliendo.
All of his impressions that he does. But he's actually a really funny comedian, too, like just talking about stuff.
Right.
And you could tell that he was totally going improv, off the cuff, and throwing shit out there. And
I just wish. I just wish we were that funny.
Oh, we might be. We just need more impressions.
Wow. I am working on my Bobcat Goldthwait impression.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, Matt Smith really wants that one to come about, which I sent you that picture. So he said, is that going to be the picture when you debut the Bobcat impression? I'm like, yes.
There you go.
Yes. Very much so.
We're probably at the end of this one.
All right, let's get out of here.
So we are...
We got more. We got more
coming up. We might have a guest.
We might.
There's potential.
A potential guest. He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. I don't think we introduced ourselves earlier tonight.
We did.
Are you sure?
I did.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Anyway, for the PNA Podcast Express, thanks for listening. Go to YouTube. Check us out. Make good choices.